Good morning, Facebook. I took a whole day off Facebook yesterday and yeah, I feel like I missed out on so much, but you know what? I didn't really. All right, so I'm waiting for some eyes to come on. It's very, very stormy here in Melbourne. It's been so stormy all night. It's like we're straight into winter all of a sudden, I think. Hello, I've got plenty of eyes on me, which is awesome, so I'm gonna get started. So today I wanna talk to you about, hey Lucy, I wanna talk to you about letting go of the old and embracing the new and how you know it's time to let go. In my work, I come across so many entrepreneurs who are holding on to stuff that just doesn't serve them anymore. Things like branding that just doesn't reflect who they are right now and the direction they're moving their business in. It could be product offerings that they really loved delivering at one point and now they don't love it so much anymore. You know, things like that. There are so many things that we hold on to and often we fear letting them go for any number of reasons. Elizabeth, that was just for you. I'm getting all of my gym and everything done in the morning these days, so that's why I'm coming on a little bit later. Hey Lou, if this is a good time, that's good. Yeah, so as I said, I come across a lot of female entrepreneurs who they're hanging on to stuff that no longer serves them. Branding that's outdated, no longer reflects what they're about or where they're taking their business. Product offerings that they just are not in love with anymore. Or sometimes they've been caught up in creating things that you know, they created on demand but were never really aligned with at the right time. It's actually a timely reminder as I talk about this. I'm reminded of the fact that you know, I partnered with somebody awesome a little while ago to develop a martial arts marketing product. And you know, every month it's been a chore for me to create a new packet because you know, I don't thank you, Luann. You know, I'm just not feeling connected to that program, that product right now because I haven't owned a martial arts school for a little while. So the feeling is, you know, I've got to let that go. And luckily my partner messaged me this morning. He's like, are you loving this? I've got a feeling you're not loving this. And I'm like, I want to love it, but I'm past it now. It's just not my passion anymore. So we're going to have a conversation and end things really amicably in that way. And it was good on him to call it, and it was good for me to be able to acknowledge that, you know what, yep, I've been trying to force this thing and it's just not working anymore. And, you know, I never actually usually work well with side projects anyway, and I kind of knew that going into it. Because I like to have one single focus, and that's what I talk about. And I kind of felt like it wasn't much of a departure, but you know, it's detracting from the way I feel about my other business. I'm feeling obligated and all that sort of stuff, and that's not how I like to feel in my business. And I'm sharing that with you because maybe you're going through a similar thing. And so what I want you to know about when it's time to let things go, it just doesn't feel good anymore. It's that freaking simple, honestly. So for me, you know, when I first launched this product with my buddy, I felt really good about it, really excited about it, felt like I was in the right space. And now it hasn't felt good for a little while, you know, and so it's time to let that go. There are constantly through my business life, you know, I've had many evolutions. You know, I started with online fitness business and then went into, actually I owned martial arts schools in the beginning. And then I went on to do my coaching training and I became a coach and I did that as well. And then I went into online fitness and then I went back into owning another Taekwondo school. And then I went into martial arts business consulting, teaching martial arts school owners how to you know, market and target people better. And then moving into this, I've had so many incarnations along the way, and I know very quickly when something's not really right for me anymore. It might take me a little while to catch up with following through on the actions about, okay, it's time to cut the cord here. Because, you know, I don't like to, you know, quit on things because if I really love them, I like to think that I continue to love them. But as I get older, I know that, you know, things are here for a season and a reason, and sometimes it's time to move on. How do you differentiate from the shiny object syndrome? Yeah, that's a good question, Nabila. And for me, this was never that. But how you do know that is it's basically, my rule is this. When you create something new and you launch something new, you stick with it for long enough to, you know, hit a few hurdles, still feel passionate about it, work your way through the other side and feel excited about it. But if you do that and you dip your toe into it a little bit and you're like, oh, at the first sign of resistance, you go, well, that's not going to work. I think this will be better. It's when the bright, shiny sort of syndrome comes forward, I think, when you're not prepared to work through things, when you hit the first sign of resistance and you jump ship because it's going to be difficult. You know, sometimes business is difficult. You know, there are times when what can I improve my business? Sorry, I'm going to have to wait for that to come up on my feed, Lucy, before I get back to you. I've definitely felt this way. I'm looking forward to our one-on-one. Yeah, for sure. And sometimes it just takes clarity. It really just takes some clarity and some, you know, being honest about where you are. But the bright, shiny object thing, the way that I define that is you haven't really gained any real traction in your original idea and you've really given it everything and you're just not getting the results. So rather than push through about this thing you're really, truly passionate about, you know, you're chopping and changing direction because you think that thing's going to be easier when usually it's not. And I go back to when I made the decision quite a few years ago now, where I decided that I was going to focus on one thing and only one thing for 12 months. And I was just going to see it through all the way through. And that was really when I had my breakthrough year. And, and I've continued to apply that. And even though I'm talking about a side project that I had, you know, I was well entrenched in the art of kicking ass elegantly. I knew what I was doing. We were moving along beautifully. And I just felt like I wanted to add another, you know, I just wanted to play on the side because I had the time and the space to do it. For me, that wasn't bright, shiny. It was a strategic decision because everything was moving along beautifully with the art of kicking ass elegantly. And there was time and mental space for me to be able to go into that other project, knowing that it was aligned, you know, and it felt kind of like I wasn't doing much different. It was just a different market. And I knew that I was never going to muddy the waters and promote that on my feed or do Facebook Lives on that, just because that's not my 100% passion. It was just something that I was good at and wanted to test, having a play on the side. But, you know, it's not my soul's calling. And now it's kind of just time to, you know, to just be honest with myself about that. Yeah, Nabila, that is honestly the one thing that changed things for me. It's really just making sure that you just give it everything, because what happens is if we don't commit to something and we don't say, you know what, for 12 months, I'm just going to focus on this thing and I'm going to see what shows up. When I first launched my Mastermind program, my 12-month Mastermind program, for me, that was a big commitment. There was no opportunity to do anything other than focus on that for 12 months. But I was really ready by that stage to say, I'm going to run a Mastermind program. It's going to go for 12 months and let's just see what happens over the course of that 12 months. And over the course of that 12 months, you know, I opened my online version of that same program, did a lot of high-end coaching, and was able to do some other programs along the way. And they all just flowed one from the other because I was in such a space of alignment and really loving what I was doing. And anything that showed up from that, you know, I checked in, is this part of the same thing? Is this going to confuse people? Does it feel like it's separate? And if it did feel separate or different, I just didn't even look at it, you know. So for 12 months, it was all about the art of kicking ass elegantly, that Mastermind program, and what came from that. And, you know, that has been where my success has taken a leap, you know, from when I was running my Honourable Martial Arts Entrepreneur program. Just, you know, I had success with that because I focused on that for only 12 months. And it showed me, the process of doing that showed me what can happen when you focus on one single thing for 12 months, deal with any of the crap that shows up along the way, work your way through it. And oftentimes what happens is you throw yourself into something, you have a win, and then you're like, yes, this is the thing, this is amazing. And then you move forward and you think, yep, this is all I needed, this is all I needed. And then you hit a wall again and something will happen. The market will be different. You'll have launched the same thing and people aren't interested this time round. And that's when you really know, that's when you really, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the phrase I'm looking for? That's when you really cut your teeth, really, because if you've had success initially and then it stops showing up the way that it had before, that's when you need to roll up your sleeves, and that's when you get to find out what you're really made of. Because, you know, there's this thing where we go into this thinking about, oh, I've made it, I've finally made it, you know, I finally cracked the code. And then when you go to do it again and it doesn't quite happen the way you did it the first time, that's when you start to question, and that's often when that bright shiny object thing shows up and it's like, well, it's not this, or it's crap, or it's not working out the way that I want, or people don't want it anymore, and then you go left. When really, if you just said, okay, I need to figure this out, something's different, so I need to work out how to make sure that I move with this and pay attention and take it in the direction that it needs to be. So making sure that you stick with it for all of that time. You know, when I did that the first time around, that's when I, for the first time, got to see what was on the other side of just chopping and changing. So in the past, I'd gone, that's a great idea. Okay, that's not working anymore. I'm going to do something else. And in hindsight, I look back at any other business that I ever had, and I could have had the same success with each of them. It's just that I quit too soon. It's just that when it got tough, instead of figuring out how to work around it, I went, I don't want to do this anymore. When pushing through with the Honourable Martial Arts Entrepreneur Program, and pushing through when I hit a wall and what didn't work anymore, and figuring it out and changing price points and things like that. And then it opened up again, and it's like, okay, this is what it's like to be on the other side of that. And then it continued to grow. And it's the same with this business. You know, this business has been a dream. It is a dream, but there have been tough times as well. You know, there have been times when I didn't want to play anymore. There have been times when, you know, I just was feeling like people just weren't getting me. They weren't understanding what it was that I was trying to do for them. And, okay, good to know, Nabila. And so for me, it was really, just knuckling down and thinking, well, I know how to get through this. I know it's just a matter of, this isn't, you know, how it's going to be forever. I just need to move through, hey, Alison, and determine what's going on for me here. And it usually, without fail, is about something that I need to let go of. It's about me staying in something too long. It's about me basically saying, I really loved this before, and because I really loved it, I should still love it, but not loving it, you know, and having to get honest with myself and go, okay, well, what does this mean for my business right now? What does it mean about my product offerings? What does it mean about the way that I want to operate right now? And then just going in that direction, you know, instead of fighting it. And so on that note, I'm going to share with you the program that I'm launching hopefully later today. If not, it'll be tomorrow. And it's called The Art of Elegant Self-Promotion. And it's going to be a half-day tele seminar, and I operate out of a Facebook group. So I ran one of these last year in November, and it was a half-day boot camp on creating success for the new year, and it was amazing. I loved everything about it, and I've been looking for the right topic to do it again. Thank you for the love. And this one is The Art of Elegant Self-Promotion. And one thing that I am great at is being able to get free press, being able to get my name out there through giving, you know, through quality content day after day after day. I have actually felt a little bit stuck with my writing of recent, but I think I've been, you know, blocking things a little bit. But, you know, with my Facebook Live content, you know, I pretty much show up every single day and I always have content. So this program is about how you can create constant content from a place of flow, and also how to get yourself to grow your online fame. It's all about that in an elegant way. You know, it's not about a cheesy, here I am, here I am, here I am, and being everywhere all the time and working your ass off to be visible. It's about taking on some key visibility strategies that feel good for you, feel elegant and effortless. And that's the program that I'm going to release either this afternoon or first thing in the morning. So make sure that you stay tuned on my feed. If you're not on my email list, head to my website, theartofkickingasselegantly.com, and you can sign up for the newsletter there, and then you'll be on the list and you'll get to receive that information. But I'm going to have an early bird as well. So I'm going to launch it at $297, and then it's going to go up to $597. So if you really want to be a part of that program, I'm going to have a payment plan. You'll be able to jump on it nice and quick and secure that early bird price. And I'm going to be running it it'll be before the end of next week, I would say, probably Thursday or something like that. I'm putting the finer details on it shortly, and then I'll get it out to you. But if you have a great message that you want to be able to get out into the world, and you feel really passionate about the things that you're doing, and you want to build a bigger audience so that you can have more eyes on you, which is what it's all about. You can be the best coach in the world, you can be the best whatever it is that you are in the world, but if people don't know about you, you're not going to make money. So it's about helping you to find a way to elegantly promote yourself, across all channels. So this is getting yourself on podcasts. This is going Facebook Live as often as it feels good for you, if that's what feels good for you. It's about creating a blogging schedule so that you stick to it and you're writing from the heart and you're attracting the right people. It is all things visibility and all things self-promotion, but done from a place of elegance so that it feels good for you, so that you show up every day feeling good about the content that you have to share. That's what it's all about. If you feel confident and you feel good about the stuff that you've got to share, you will not have any resistance about showing up for your tribe every single day and, you know, delivering value. And when you do that, naturally people are going to love you and they're going to want to buy from you. So if you want to make more money in your business through being more visible from a place of alignment and flow and feeling good about that, keep tuned, and I will post that information for you above the video actually when I've got it, but also keep an eye on my feed, and as soon as it goes live, you'll know all about it. Anyway, that's it for me today. I've got to get this sales page done. Have an amazing day. If you're in Melbourne like I am and it's very, very stormy, I don't plan to leave the house now. I've been and done what I needed to do this morning. I'm going to bunker in and go put a jumper on and enjoy being inside. But wherever you are in the world, have an amazing day or evening, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.